Another day, another transfer story involving Sunderland, and reports today are suggesting that they have put in a bid for Leicester City winger Abdul Fatawu. And in this video, we are going to dive into whether or not this is a good bit of business, why Sunderland are interested in him, my opinion on it. So if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And let's dive into it. So who is Fatawu? Well, he's a 21-year-old winger. He signed for Leicester in the 23-24 season when they won the championship on loan from Sporting Lisbon, and then signed permanently last season before the start of their Premier League campaign for around 17 million euros. He was playing regularly in the Premier League until he got a pretty serious knee injury in about November and missed the rest of the season. So he has had a pretty significant time off, but he has been back for Leicester this season. He's played in 2 games so far for them in the Championship. But that's not why you're here. You're here to see why Sunderland are interested in him, and I am going to tell you. So, he is an incredible ball carrier. This is a guy who ranks very, very highly when it comes to, dribbles, taking the ball up the field, getting fouled. He ranks, in the top percentages of players like that. And we're going to look a lot at the 23-24 championship season, but we'll also look at the games he did play. He played 11 games in the Premier League last season, so we'll look at them as well and how he compared. So in that championship season for Leicester, the 23-24 season, he had 19 goal contributions, so 6 goals, 13 assists. He was in the top 1% for assists, expected assists, and he was in the top 10% for pretty much every ball carrying and dribbling stat that season. Defensively, he's also rock solid. He's one of the best aerially for his position. He's in the top 20% on pretty much every defensive category, which is obviously very, very good for a team like Sunderland, who are expected to defend a lot in the Premier League. And last season, Fatawu didn't play a lot. He played 11 games in the Premier League, but in that small sample size, he again ranked very highly on all these stats. He was an excellent dribbler. His ball carrying was very high. His defensive actions were very, very high. He was, in the top end of all of them statistics in the Premier League last season. He also had the most completed dribbles of any player in the league until he was injured in November. So that is a significant amount of time in the season to be ahead in those categories. He was in the top 1% of players in his position for tackling, and the top 5% for clearances and aerial duels. He wins a lot of fouls, and that's ideal for a team that is, away from home, probably wanting to waste a little bit of time. He can get you up the pitch, win a foul, and let you reset yourself. And it's his defensive stats, his ball carrying, his assists, which is why Sunderland would be attracted to him. But what do we know about Sunderland's recruitment? Well, we know that they like physical players who are pacey, who can get you up the pitch. And Fatawu is a player that does all those things. He is the typical player that Sunderland like to sign in this moment in time. He's also 21 years old, so he's got plenty of time to develop. So this feels very much like Sunderland, getting a player in who they think can add to what is already a lot of talent in their squad. So where would he fit in? Well, I think that it's obvious that he would probably go in on the right wing. He's a left-footed right winger, and I think that Chemson Talby is a player that Sunderland look at as more of a project than what they do a starter in every game. So it does feel like they maybe do need to upgrade there. I don't think Reggie Slibbery is massively convinced by Patrick Roberts being a Premier League player. We've seen that in pre-season that he's been largely in the B team, and he didn't get on at the weekend against West Ham. So I can see Sunderland thinking they need to upgrade in that position. I think this came a little bit out of left field. I think a lot of people may be a bit surprised that this is the player we're going for. And I think because he was injured last season, I think a lot of people are sort of concerned because he didn't play a lot for West Ham in the Premier League last season. But if you dig into the numbers, it becomes pretty obvious why Sunderland would want to sign a player like this. It feels like a logical fit for their recruitment right now and really ticks a lot of the boxes that they look for in players. And it feels like Talby, as I said, is a project, and Fatawu has played in the Premier League. I think is probably a better player right now and will probably slot in to this starting 11 quite well and fit into what Sunderland are trying to do. So I think with this, if this deal was to happen, I would suspect that means Patrick Roberts would probably be on the way out the door. I do think in a wider point in terms of Sunderland's recruitment, we've seen the John Lucimi links come back up today in terms of bringing in another centre-back. So I think clearly the club are looking at finishing off their business as quickly as possible. I think Lucimi is probably going to take a while to be done. Bologna seem to be sort of digging their heels in on that one. It's been a little bit of a saga, but I think if he wants to come to Sunderland, he's in the last year of his contract. feels pretty likely that that one would get, brought over the line. And then this one with Fatawu, I think that would be the last player that Sunderland would sign. I'd be shocked, really, if they spent any more money. Maybe they could bring in another loan player, but the squad would feel pretty complete once they were able to get Fatawu done, if they are able to. Leicester have got issues financially, I think, in terms of PSR. So Bilal Al-Khanous is a player Sunderland have been linked with as well. He looks like he could be on the way out the door, and Fatawu looks like another one who could be on the way out as well. So Sunderland could be snapping up a player here for a price that's probably a bit lower than what he's worth. I think there is concern because he was injured last season. I think a lot of fans are sort of looking at this thinking, oh, is this a risky bit of business? And obviously with every transfer there is risk there. But if you look at the numbers behind Fatawu and how he plays and what he would bring to this Sunderland team, I think you would probably come to the conclusion that he fits in with what the club are trying to do right now. And I think the club deserve a lot of credit for their recruitment so far, and this would be another player coming in to fit that bill. I mean, he's also another African, so we're doing our best to get ourselves involved in the African Cup of Nations as well. So there we are, Abdul Fatawu. Let me know in the comments what you think about this as a potential sign-in for Sunderland, whether or not you think he's a good fit in there, whether or not this is the type of player that we need. And yeah, please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video as well. And we'll catch you for the next one when maybe the Fatawu deal's a bit further down the line. John Lucimi is a bit further down the line, and we'll hopefully have this wonderful summer capped off with another few bits of business. It's just been never ending, hasn't it? Very, very exciting this summer for Sunderland fans.